Well, once again, this is George McDermott here at my house in Oxon Hill, Maryland, getting ready to go down to the United States Supreme Court and file this opposition motion to the latest unsigned order that I've received from the clerk of the court. Unsigned, unverifiable piece of garbage. And I have to, it's the 4th of July, 2026. We cannot stand by and allow our nation to be destroyed by corporate entities acting under color of law, especially the corporate judges. The CEO of the corporation of the United States, Donald John Trump, his board of directors, which are the cabinet members, will have no respect for the rule of law or the Constitution, and just disallow the rights and liberties of our citizens so they can exploit all of us, giving themselves power that not even kings have. Even kings can be overthrown. It's time that we, the peoples of these United States, act in adherence with the Founding Fathers' intent and purpose in the Declaration of Independence, which says that when the government becomes abusive to and upon itself, it's up to we, the peoples of these United States, to abolish that form of government. Which, by the way, folks, that form of government that we're now dealing with is just a corporation. And our Founding Fathers, at the signing of the Declaration, explicitly warned us of the dangers of corporations and the corporate overreach that would eventually lead to the overthrow of this great nation. And as of this July 4th, 250th anniversary of the signing of that document has been rendered useless, because in 1933 and 45 and 47, all of the laws that we were taught as growing up in this nation were taught and were led to misbelieve that these foreign entities, these corporations, have warred against the Constitution, and they have subverted their legal powers and their attorney authorities, especially our acting CEO, Donald John Trump, that there was never a constitutional amendment authorizing the abolishment of the original organic Constitution and converting the United States of America into a private, for-profit series of corporations for the benefit of the wealthy at the expense of everyone else. And anyone who looks at what's happening in the United States of America at this time could easily see that this has happened. We have a uncontrolled judiciary system, uncontrolled House and Senate, who they do not at all act in the best interest of those who elected them. They do have a invested interest in those who elected them, but if you look behind the scenes, you'll find out that all elections in the United States are won not by popular vote. They're won by corporations funding individual candidates with dark money, paying for their campaigns, and so they can gain influence once they get into office, and then they can subvert the law, the intent and the rule of the law, to their own malicious intents and purposes. So I'm heading down to the United States Supreme Court to file this motion paper right here, calling him out for the treasonous acts that they are doing and committing against our citizenry. I will not stand by idly and worship this 4th of July. It's not the Constitution and rule of law of this country that I was led to believe that I would be involved in when I was a child. The rule of law was explicit. The right to a trial was explicit. The right to a jury of your peers was explicit. The right to present evidence and rebuttals before a jury was explicit. But 99% of our citizens today don't get that right because corporate lawyers and judges get together and they make sure that these cases are dismissed illegally with unsigned orders, which nobody, this per curiam order is so sinister and so offensive to our Constitution and our Founding Fathers' intent that it's impossible to explain exactly how terrifying it is, because there's no oversight anymore. There's absolutely no oversight in our court system. There's, can you believe it? In 250 years now, we have allegedly, on the record, only impeached about 12 federal judges. They're given life tenure once they become a federal judge, and the state judges are following in suit. They all have an oath of office in the Constitution that they're supposed to follow to, which is their contract with America to provide true, honest services to our citizens. That's not happening in this country anymore. It never has, really. If you look back at the original foundation, it said that African Americans were 1/6 of a person, 1/6. That slavery was all right, which is horrifying. We could go to foreign nations and steal their inhabitants, bring them here, enslave them to build our farming communities, our businesses. Then we took advantage of the Chinese to import them from China to build our railroads. While building railroads, the judges and lawyers got together to steal the farmlands and properties of millions of Americans, with just forcing them to give give up to the powerful lawyers who had the money and who were paying off the judges. Watch any of these old videos on the formation of America and our Constitution. Watch what they've done to the American Indians. We stole everything that they had. We enslaved them. We sent them to a land that most human beings could not even exist in. We forced them in forced marches. They killed hundreds of thousands of them. We declared war on them when they tried to assert their rights. We should be shameful. Every citizen of the United States should be shameful to the treatment that our government, both original government and the corporate government in the United States, has had against minorities and disadvantaged people. So, what can we do? The only thing we can do is we can stand up and we can go to the courts and demand that they be held accountable for their breach of conduct, breach of ethics, and the consequences of their actions. Every victim that I have on my victims' websites, at secretjustice.com, at georgemcdermott.com, at George for Justice on YouTube. Every victim, over 20,000 victim stories posted. Just as this video will be posted. This is part 1 of 3 chronicling today's events. I'm a victim. I've lost well in excess of $30 million because of false judges rulings, conspiracy, obstruction of justice. I am not alone. There are millions upon millions of people going through this every day. Our probate courts are a disaster. There's no oversight of these courts. People are losing everything they have by probate fraud, just as Sherry Evelyn did up in Elkton, Maryland. By the way, Sherry Evelyn is now in a nursing home trying to somewhat recover from 2 crushed legs that she got June 14th, I believe, in an automobile accident, and while going to her home on a moped trying to save some of her documents, which we now know are all gone. They're all gone. Everything that her father left her, over $18 million originally, but we found out that there are over 50 stocks and bonds that her father were never accounted for. All the legal properties and titles were all falsified. They were left to them paid for in full. Now she's homeless in a nursing home. And why? Because all the judges, all the attorneys got together. These properties were left to her free and clear. And yet the courts allowed unknown agents who did not sign for his last will and testament to be taken out of safekeeping and the court in Elkton, Maryland. I have challenged it. I have many, many pleadings that I have put together for Sherry, that I have actually put together myself, trying to help her. I have filed to intervene in cases for her, as I have for every victim that I have seen. But yet, we have no relief. No, the U.S. Attorney's offices won't help her. The Attorney Generals of all the states have refused to help her. The Attorney Generals are engaged in treason and fraud against the Constitution by wrongfully imprisoning her for standing up to her legal rights. She faced 10 years of judicial terrorism by the Elkton Police Department, Maryland State Police, Rising Sun Police, and Cecilton Police Department. This is a criminal monopoly, all operating as a corporation, and met with one purpose: to destroy Sherry Evelyn and her family's legal and constitutional rights to due process. And she is now, once again, homeless and penniless, with two crushed legs. I don't even think she might not ever be able to walk again. And yet they've got her brother, their only last relative, James Ray Charles. They've got him being held in a mental institution, Perkins Institute in Jessup, Maryland, with a sealed indictment based on a falsified filing by a gentleman who was caught in her bedroom trying to go through her properties. Then he inflicted a wound upon himself and then said that Timothy Charles had attacked him. It was bullshit. So, I'm here now. I'm going down to Capitol Hill. I'm on 8th Street. Pennsylvania Avenue right now. I see some people starting to go towards the Capitol and towards the monuments. Not a lot though. Not a lot of people out here. It's over 100 degrees right now. So they may be waiting till later in the evening. So the CEO of the corporation, Donald Trump, can give his 1 hour bullshit address to the country before the fireworks have now been delayed by an hour. So we can assume that he's going to want to profess how wonderful he is. The only thing Donald John Trump is wonderful about is falsifying court records, extortion, racketeering. He's a convicted felon. How he got into office should never have happened. And we just have to take it one step at a time. So, I'm working on. I'm here almost at the Supreme Court right now. As you see, it takes about. Today's been relatively light. Take me approximately 10 minutes to get to the Supreme Court. I better turn here because they've got it fenced off and everything up front is turned off. So I need to make a turn here and go up 3rd Street instead of going up 2nd Street or 1st Street because they've fenced off all areas. all these little people walking out here, getting ready to celebrate the 4th of July, which is an absolute joke. But luckily enough, I can get down here and I can get back. I'll be making 2 more videos, one after I make the filing and another one when I get to my back to my office. But it is a very, very hot day. I'm not sure. We'll just have to deal with it. I'll pick this up when I can see the Supreme Court right now. I'm not sure I can go on to 2nd Street. Let me see if it's been blocked off also. It blocked off so many roads. East Capitol Street, 300 block East Capitol Street. I don't see any traffic up there, so I'm probably going to have to go down and... No, okay, I can go. I can go down 2nd Street. That's where I want to park. So I can deliver this stuff to the security booth. But this is what you have to do if you're going to stand up for your rights and liberties, folks. You have to get out from behind your computers. You have to stand up and help your neighbors, your friends, help victims of court corruption and abuse. A lot of people walking away from the Capitol right now. What the heck is this? Oh, look, we've got some protest signs up here. Yeah. We got some protest signs up here. That's it. First time I was... But the Capitol is right ahead of us. Now all these people leaving the Capitol. There's the Supreme Court right there. A lot of people leaving the Supreme Capitol. There's tons and tons of people leaving it. Library of Congress. Oh, they aren't stopping for nothing. They are not stopping for anything. Even though they're walking against the sign, they are not stopping for anything. All of them look to be well, there's the security booth where I have to file my paper. I'll pick this up when I come back out of the security booth.